Hello and welcome to another video from TheSavageTrout on YouTube, and it is episode 16 of my F1 2013 career mode. Haven't done this in a while, as per usual. There's usually like a month's break between races, about 2 races per month, but we've had a long vacation with this, but we're going to do the final 4 races in build up for 2014, which is only, well, just under a month away I think now. So we're just trying to get these out of the way, ending the championship. We've still got a few epic battles here. As you can see, we're allowed to start on whatever tyres we want, and we are 5th, so there's clearly been some shenanigans here. And there was, it started raining halfway through Q2, which knocked Romain Grosjean out of Q2. Not really too much going on in Q3, everyone got through there pretty easily. We all just about scraped through and got the times in early in Q2, although Vettel did have a bit of a scare. And then Alonso just blew everyone out of the way in Q3, 6/10 quicker than Rosberg. I was 8/10 off, and Webber, my rival in the championship now, having an absolutely abysmal qualifying down in 9th. So we are going to start on the prime tyres to just make this a bit more interesting. I haven't done live commentary like this for these races for quite a while, so I may be sloppy. India, along with China, India is one of my worst tracks on the game. I just do not like driving it at all. I just think it's more Tilke crap, really. But I mean, it's big for the championship, this race. There's 6 points separating Vettel and Alonso, and our teammate Alonso is on pole position. Vettel's down in 4th, and Hamilton really does need to win this race if he wants to keep up the fight. And we're just looking to get ahead of Rosberg and staying ahead of Webber so we can get 4th in the championship. But the 5 lights are out and we're away, and we've got a good start for once. It's a poor start from Alonso by the looks of it, and actually Hamilton hasn't got a brilliant start. Vettel's having a look around the inside, and we've tried to go all the way around the outside, which hasn't really worked. We've been slowed down on the curb, but we have somehow taken Hamilton. Shades of Alonso at the weekend there. Maybe it was a bit of a bad move by me, but Hamilton has been knocked down to 5th place after that. So it's a terrible start for the man who needed a good result. And Rosberg easily passed down the straight, so much more straight line, and it's a Ferrari 1-2. Alonso flying off into the distance. Vettel having a look up the inside, and he's through into 3rd. So already the cards have been put on the table here, and look at that, that's a Mercedes off the track, and the Mercedes may have actually got into a bit of contact there, funnily enough. Clearly this game is trying to replicate real life, but Hamilton and Rosberg are completely dropped back, and the Mercedes have made a complete, well, just completely stuffed that up really, and now we have a Ferrari 1-2. And 1 Red Bull up here, which is Vettel, who's been the Red Bull that's been challenging all season. But we are 1.9 behind Alonso, who is going to be difficult to beat in this race, especially since he's going to be on the better tyres in this first stint. We're going to have to make sure we keep within a decent range so we can attack him later on in the race, and we've got to worry about Vettel as well. I'm not quite sure who's in 4th now. But they might kick. In fact, Hamilton is still in 4th. Webber's down to 12th, so that's gone even worse for him. He somehow managed to lose 3 places. So looks like we might be jumping him in the championship. I think we're about 6 or 7 points behind him before. So we're going to get the jump on him by the looks of it. So both our championship rivals having a bit of trouble here. That might have been a Sauber up in 5th. But we've got Vettel catching us down the straight, and we're going to have to be wary of DRS when that's deployed next lap. Alonso certainly looks like he's going to be tough to beat. He's been the quickest guy this weekend in pretty much all the sessions, and I think that dominance was pretty much put to show in the final qualifying session when he was 6/10 up on Rosberg. I don't know where he pulled that lap out of. It's looking a bit stretched though. Hamilton's pulling away from the rest of them pretty easily. We've got more yellow flags out. I don't know what's going on there. So far we've actually been nailing this track pretty well. There hasn't really been too much action. I do wonder who was involved in that yellow flag. 2.6 to Alonso. We're still trying to keep within range. We've pulled away from Vettel quite nicely in the middle sector there. Alonso just seemed to get a blistering start there. I thought he'd initially got a poor one, but he did manage to end up getting a pretty decent start in the end. Pulled away quite nicely. Webber's now up to 10th, so I do wonder if the yellow flags were for something in front of him. Between maybe a McLaren and a Lotus or something. And Vettel, I think, is going to have DRS here. Alonso's just eking out his lead by tenths at the moment. We didn't need to go wide there, but we have done. So that's going to help Vettel quite nicely, and I think Hamilton's going to come into play later in the stint. I'm guessing they're going to be pitting around lap 6, so we shouldn't be worrying about them for too long. I think the crucial laps are going to be 7 and 8 when they're trying to undercut me. We also don't need to go wide. We're just gone wide again, which is not going to help us at all. Alonso now gets up to 3.7. Of course, we have won the last 2 races. We won in Korea and Japan. We're looking for the 3rd one on the bounce. But Alonso really does need a win. And looks like he might be heading for that at the moment, if he keeps it all together as we go off there slightly. Can't quite remember if he won in Singapore, but Alonso I don't think has won for quite a while. So this will be a big victory for him if he does. And I mean, if it stays how it is at the moment, he is going to have a 4-point advantage. If Vettel overtakes me, then it's going to be a 1-point advantage. So there's still plenty to play for in this championship. Again, Alonso is just eking out that advantage. Not really much is happening at the moment. I mean, Vettel's keeping behind me, but he's not really close enough to make a move. Alonso is just kind of eking out that advantage tenths by tenths in this stint. Maybe starting on options would have been the better idea. Hamilton still trying to close in. I think that's a Lotus down in 5th there. Vettel's looking like he might be a bit closer down here. But I still don't think he's going to be close enough for a move. We'll see though. No, he's not. Or is he? No, I don't think he's going to look up the inside, to be fair. Even if he is close enough, he's going to have to pass me down the straight because the AI just don't have the balls on this game. Now up to 5 seconds. Alonso is looking like he's going to be difficult to beat. We might have to be more concentrated on just keeping second here because Vettel probably will overtake us when he's on fresher prime tyres after he's pitted. Of course, we do have the advantage of having completely fresh tyres after the wet qualifying, so that will make it easier for the stops and in terms of tyre wear. Slightly wide through there. Do wonder if some people start pitting on lap 5. Would be pretty early, but you never know. Be good if they pitted on lap 7, to be fair, but still Alonso is eking out that advantage. He seems to have a few extra tenths in his pocket compared to everyone else for whatever reason. Not quite sure who's in 5th, but they're keeping Hamilton relatively close to them. We keep going wide through there, which really isn't helping us. Now the next race is Abu Dhabi, so we'll be looking for a win there, but yeah, these next few tracks really aren't some of my favourites. I mean, I don't mind America and Brazil's decent, but yeah, these 4 videos will probably be pumped out pretty fast. I want to get back to a Grid Autosport videos relatively quickly, and obviously FIFA's coming out at the end of this week, so that will probably take a lot of my focus as well. So this is just kind of a very minor series for me at the moment, when it started out being probably one of my biggest ones. But of course we will be probably doing a 2014 one if I actually get the game, which I think I will be doing. So I don't know who I'm going to start with, but might just be similar to this, to be fair. I might start doing 100% races and edit them down. I guess we'll see what happens. Or maybe I'll do one like this and then one with 100% races or something. But anyway, it looks like we might be heading for our fastest lap of the race here. No, not quite. In fact, miles off. And again, it's just a similar pattern. Webber's now up to where he started, so That's going to help him a bit, but seems like Hamilton's actually getting close to overtaken by someone back there. But yeah, it just seems to be a repetitive cycle. Vettel can't really get within a second of me and challenge me, whilst Alonso is just eking it out tenths by tenths every sector, which is just giving him that advantage that's probably going to win him this race, unless I pull off something pretty special towards the end. I mean, I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to recover about a 7-second gap. It is now 7.5. Alonso just seems to have something in hand around here. And for whatever reason, Vettel seems to have closed up quite significantly around there, despite the tyres going off. Well, they should be going off for him anyway. Doesn't seem like that. He seems to be getting quicker. Slight corner cut there, just about getting it turned in there. Been pretty happy with my driving in this race so far. There's been a few moments here and there where I've maybe done a minor corner cut or something, but India is pretty harsh for the track allows a lot of corner cutting. It's not one of the best tracks. That's probably why I don't like it as well. We are moving on to lap 7 now, which is when I reckon most people will be pitting. It looks like Alonso's going to get a 8-second gap before we go into the pits, which is surely going to be enough, plus the undercutted time. But we've got to be careful that Vettel doesn't overtake us in the pit stops. I mean, I'm not quite sure how much of an advantage the options do have around here, but we're going to have to hope it's quite a lot. Although, hang on, Vettel's having a look at us, and he doesn't want to wait, by the looks of it, to try and get ahead of us. But for whatever reason, his tyres are going off, yet he seems to be going quicker. Still can't quite see who that car is behind Hamilton, and it seems like Alonso might even get up to 9 seconds here. He's just so much quicker than everybody else. Most weekends I've been able to match him in these races, but he's just dominated this race. Tyres aren't looking too well. When I say tyres aren't looking too good, that front left looks pretty horrid, but the rest look okay. We've actually taken a bit of time out of Alonso there for once. I think we took a couple of tenths out of him. Does he come into the pitch? Yes, he does. I'm expecting Vettel to come in as well. Well, some people are obviously going to stay out because they won't be able to pit. So that can make things interesting as well. We are going to take the lead of the race, not the race of the lead, for probably just one lap. But it will be nice to have the lead again. Looks like Hamilton and the person behind him have stayed out, unless that's a different duo. Oh, we run slightly wide there. It's Hamilton and Perez having a good race. Shame Webber didn't get out ahead of Alonso there to hold him up a bit. But this is looking like it's going to be a routine victory for Alonso here. Might actually be quite a quick race here as well in terms of timing of the video. Just because there really has been no anarchy in this race. It's been relatively straightforward so far, as have most of the actual India races in real life. I've found most of them pretty boring, so it doesn't really surprise me too much, as that was a horrific corner cut. In fact, Perez has made it past Hamilton. That's amazing. Perez obviously doesn't want to lose his McLaren seat, even though he will on the next career mode that I do on an F1 game. But that's pretty amazing. In fact, oh, hang on, looks like someone's off there. Was that Hamilton? Well, I don't think it was, unless it was Vettel. It was someone, though, so I just saw it in the corner of my eye, someone off the track. We might have a look when we come into the pits, actually, see if Vettel's fell down the order a bit. Might have been the guy that was ahead of Alonso before. It would be amazing if Alonso got a penalty, as we've run slightly wide there, which isn't ideal. Going to go on the options. We're just going to have a look here. Race director. Vettel, maybe it was Gutierrez. Possibly Raikkonen. Not quite sure, but interesting. Anyway, we're into the pits. Hopefully it's a slick stop, and it is by the looks of it. Oh no, we've got held up. Oh no. Perez holds us up, and that might cost us against Sebastian Vettel if he is still coming around. In fact, is that Hamilton that's... No, that is Vettel. Vettel's going to take us by quite a few seconds by the looks of it. So Perez has caused us a lot of problems there. I mean, we lost probably about 2 seconds. I reckon Vettel probably still would have got out ahead, but now the task is absolutely monumental. Raikkonen is up to 4th. So all of a sudden we do have a hunt on our tail now, because, well, that looks like quite a big gap actually, at least 4 seconds. That's not helped us in the slightest, but we can push now. We've got Rich, but the question is, are we going to have enough time? Oh god, that's not going to help. If we run wide, we could just about got it slowed down. I think, yeah, looks like Perez is still ahead of Hamilton, so Hamilton's championship hopes fading more and more at the moment, and I don't know what's going on there. Just horrendous understeer through that section. Don't know if it was the cold tyres or something, but yeah, that's not helped us against Vettel at all. I mean, we're still on the podium, but we do want a Ferrari 1-2 here. We had a Ferrari 1-2 at Japan. I can't remember if we did at Korea, but it would be nice to have another Ferrari dominant Grand Prix. And Alonso really does need it for the championship. I mean, if it stays how it is, it will be 1 point with 3 races to go between the two of them. It's like 2012 all over again, really. Minus Massa getting replaced halfway through the season, and Alonso just showing his pace. That's a second quicker than my fastest lap, which really isn't too surprising because of the track evolution and whatnot. But Hulkenberg's up to 5th, so in fact I think Hamilton might have been involved in something, because Perez will have come out of the pits, Webber's an 8, so Hamilton must have fell completely down the order. So it really hasn't gone well this race for the two Mercedes. They were 2 and 3 on the grid, so they're probably expecting better. But Mercedes look well and truly out of the constructors hunt as well. And Webber down in 8th place is seriously going to help me and Alonso in the constructors with Ferrari, because there was only 13 points in it between us and Red Bull before this race. We're going to stretch that advantage out by quite a bit if it stays how it is. They're not really catching Vettel enough at the moment. And running wide there isn't really going to help us. Vettel has kind of been the dominant man around this track before, although we have just gone purple around there. That's a bit of, well, that inspires us a bit. Looks like we're going to get fastest lap again though by going on this strategy. So it's quite, we still haven't had a pole position, I don't think, unless my memory's going mental. We might have done around Korea, but I don't think we did. Looks like this is going to be, it's only 2 tenths quicker than Alonso, which is pretty poor. But it just shows how big the difference, well, how big the difference the pace is between me and him at the moment. We are pushing to catch Vettel now though. We can't afford to make a mistake. And just again, the understeer through there. Don't know what it is. We just keep going wide, and Raikkonen looks like he's bunching them up a bit now back there. He must have pitted early or something for primes, gone for the undercut or something like that, or maybe it's just because his car's slow. But it just basically has been us 3 romping away with it at the front for most of this race. We're not going to mix 2 race engineer, but we have lost time pretty poorly in the first sector there, despite only going 4 thousandths slower than our last lap in the first sector. It'll be interesting to see if Raikkonen can hold on to 4th place. Again, we've gone purple. That middle sector seems to be where we're gaining all the time on Vettel. 1.9 now. It's going to be close towards the end of this race, I think. Do wonder if we're going to hit any back markers. I doubt it, but you never know. Are we going to hit another fastest lap here? It's going to be close. Yes, we are. 1.8, but Vettel is just standing firm. He's still putting in decent lap times, which are keeping him ahead. But if we keep pushing like this, we will be within DRS. And look at that, we've gone down to -1. That was probably not the ideal time for that to happen. Again, poor traction out of there. That corner is costing us a lot in this race. We're going to have to go to standard here, but still try and catch him. Our pace is still better, I think. trying to push, but he's just got that advantage like we had him on him at the start of the race, where he just seems to be just about keeping the gap, and it's not really going down by too much. Nailed that quite nicely. It's crucial that we do well in this section to try and further catch him, which I wouldn't really say we've done around there at all. I think the gap is just about the same. Yeah, we've lost 5/10 on our last lap. We still have gained a bit though. We are almost within DRS. Maybe next lap we can get inside DRS. Quite late into there, we can't afford to go wide, which we pretty much have done. Raikkonen's still in fourth. There's quite a bit of a train behind him now. 1.5 between me and Vettel. Alonso is going to win this easily. The big question is, will I get second place? We slightly corner cut there. Well, that was more of a track extend, I guess. Getting that corner, poor traction. Vettel just pulls away with ease. We just need to force a mistake out of the AI if that's possible, but well, I don't really think it is possible because it's the AI. They just don't make mistakes under pressure. Well, usually anyway. It's going to be 1.5 again, isn't it? Yep. He's just regulating that gap at the moment, which is allowing him to keep ahead. Surely his tyres are going to just go off that bit that will allow us to get inside DRS and make the pass, though. We might have some last lap shenanigans here. We are pushing like hell. It's down to 1.1. We haven't even gone purple either. That was oh, we're getting close now. We have had some very good battles at this season, but me and Vettel have been just going hammer and tongs in this race without really having side-by-side action. It's just been close all the way through, though, between us. We've finally got DRS. Maybe this is our time to capitalise. We are still on -1, so we're going to have to be wary of that as well. It'd be nice if we could make the pass this lap and then put it down to -1 and try and fend him off on the last lap. We're going to get DRS, but we're not going to be close enough for a pass. Still not down to optimal yet, and we've got DRS again, which is crucial, but again he just seems to have that advantage. It's going to be about the middle sector here. We're going to have to pass him on the last lap and then go into rapid fuel saving mode. 1.2, which is not what we needed. Horrendous understeer through there. Pushing like hell through there, just about nailed the apex. 8 seconds to Raikkonen now, we've really pulled away from him. And that's exactly what we needed, 8/10 in it now. Slightly round wide there. Alonso really hasn't put out much of an advantage in this race, but he's just controlled it. Going through there wasn't ideal. Our tyres are going off just as much as his probably are. We're down to optimal now, which is crucial for us. It's just about a second, but we just can't quite get close enough. We're going to have a good turn 1 here, which we've had, but I still don't think we're going to be close enough. We've locked everything up into there, and that might cost us. We tried to go ballsy into that corner so we could gain time on him, but instead it's had the complete reverse effect. We've got DRS, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think we've lost it here. It looks like it's going to be 3rd place. We just didn't quite have enough in this race. And by the looks of it, that Perez hold up is going to cost us 2nd place, which is not going to help Alonso in the championship. Yeah, it's up to 2 seconds. I think we're fighting a lost cause now. And yeah, we've gone wide there. I mean, horrific understeer. Our tyres have gone. We're going to have to settle for 3rd place, which is a bit disappointing. I would have liked 2nd after the start of this race, and oh my god, the tyres have really gone off here. Front left is just horrendous. Fernando Alonso is probably going to be coming around the final corner just about now. Oh my. Yeah, these tyres have just completely gone off. I don't think we would have been able to overtake him anyway. But Fernando Alonso wins the race as we crawl across the line in a minute. As our tyres are just, I don't know what's happened, they just completely fell off the cliff on this last sector. But that is it. 3rd place. Another solid podium. And look at that, our objective was 2nd, sadly. We beat our rival convincingly, but 2nd would have been nice. Obviously the race win would have been nice as well, but 11 seconds behind Alonso. Ended up about 5 behind Vettel in the end. Hamilton down in 7th. Rosberg doesn't even score a point, which means we might just actually be up to 4th now, potentially. Grosjean DNF, so his weekend has just gone from bad to worse there, and Button down in 15th. Not good for him at all. Championship standings. Oh, we are still behind. In fact, we must have jumped Rosberg then. We're still 12 points behind Webber, so we need to hunt that down. And as we've said, 1 point between Alonso and Vettel now. Alonso takes the championship lead. Hamilton now 38 points behind. If he continues with this downward spiral, we might actually have 3rd place if we're lucky. Constructors 31 points to Red Bull now. We surely can't cock this up. Sauber hanging in there, only 5 points behind McLaren. Can they beat them? With the help of me, of course, at the start of the championship. But anyway, that is that video. The Indian Grand Prix, not exactly spectacular, but still a decent battle with Vettel, which had a not so crazy climax. But this is just Alonso and me celebrating. Good result for the team, to be fair. But anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.